Trump wants to shut down the Department of Education. Here's what that could mean. President-elect Donald Trump has pledged to abolish the Department of Education. Good, it doesn't belong there anyway. I say it all the time. I'm dying to get back to this. We will ultimately eliminate the Federal Department of Education. We will drain the government education swamp and stop the abuse of your taxpayer dollars to indoctrinate America's youth with all sorts of things that you don't want to have our youth hearing. 1979, President Carter signed legislation making the Department of Education a cabinet-level agency. There you go. President Trump can undo it. It was done by a presidential pen. It can be undone.
Correct.
By a presidential pen. That's how that works.
Pencil whipped in, pencil whipped out.
That is correct. Previously, federal education programs are housed in other agencies. Trump has not said exactly how we want to shut the department down, which would require an act of Congress. No, it doesn't. Or what would happen to federally funded education programs if he did? Look, there should be no federal funding of our schools, first of all. Okay? One of the things that's happened with the Department of Education, a lot of people don't understand this, is the bloat above the teacher level. All of the administrations, all of the special organizations, all of the special boards of this, that, and the other for education above the teachers. The teachers are getting shit pay because you've got all of these people from the Department of Education who are drawing freaking 7-figure salaries in some cases.
Yep.
To do what? To do what? To sit in a board in the Outer Banks in North Carolina, sipping fruity drinks with umbrellas and going, we'll just put this book in the system, it'll be fine.
Well, have you
Making
ever
these decisions for your kids?
Have you ever read up on any of the corruption in the Wayne County School District?
Not Wayne County in particular, but I have been around it.
Detroit City?
Yeah.
Holy smoking Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
They actually...
Cass used to be one of the best high schools in the country.
I know. But the thing is the Detroit students per capita get more tax money for education than any other city in the state.
Yeah.
And they can barely, graduate a class of seniors with more than a dozen people who can read and write at college, at high school level.
The primary population for the law firm that I work at comes from the lower west side of Detroit. I see these people day in and day out. Most of them cannot write.
Yep.
Most of them. Most of them cannot process more than a simple concept. If you try to explain an elaborate legal situation to them, they're stumped. You have to break it down Barney style in little tiny chunks.
So you have to grunt speak it.
That they can see. It's beyond grunt speak.
Oh, that's bad.
It's beyond. There's 2 grunts in that damn office. Okay, I'm grunting Jason. But the other guy in the office is a freaking 0311.
Yeah, there you go.
And he can understand this shit. And he's got to explain it to these people. Okay, so when you've got a Marine grunt who has to explain something to you in little tiny details, you're kind of dumb.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Previously, federal education programs are housed in other agencies. Here's what the Department of Education does and how eliminating it could play out. Funneling money to states and schools. Yes, funneling money to states and schools. Money that's your taxpayer money that they shouldn't have their hands on to begin with. Some of the Department of Education's biggest jobs are to administer federal funding appropriated by Congress to K-12 schools and manage the federal student loan and financial aid programs, which shouldn't exist, and which is why college now costs $400,000 in some cases, where it used to cost $5,000. You know what a Harvard education used to cost? $2,000.
Wow.
I have
so
books
what you're
from
telling me,
Harvard.
What you're telling me is when the government shows up to fix a problem, it just gets more expensive.
Snowballs like a hooker at a football game.
Yeah.
Snowballs everywhere.
That's nasty, but true.
I wanted to be graphic so everybody got the point there. These programs help fulfill the department's congressionally declared purpose of ensuring access to equal educational opportunity for every individual, which has categorically failed, as we just pointed out. All of our inner cities. Philadelphia was the other one. It was in the news the other day. They graduated 3 classes from the major schools in Philadelphia. None of them were above a 4th grade level.
Wow.
Not a single student was above a 4th grade level.
Oh, that's rough. But the thing
It's
is,
Department of Education.
Okay, we can blame it on the Department of Education, but at the end of the day,
Federal interference.
if they come from a broken home,
yeah,
they're going to get sucked into the street life. They're going to look for, having fun, not paying attention to shit. And then they're going to wind up functional idiots when they're adults.
Yeah.
And that never ends well.
No. Usually it ends in lots of automobile accidents and prison sentences. We had a guy this past summer he was legitimately in an accident. It was legitimately not his fault. Somebody else hit him. He was totally not at fault for the accident. The very next day, the cops kicked in the door of his house, and he is now a guest of the Graybar Hotel for dope.
There you go.
And he had one of those truly rare cases where he was made. Mm-hmm. If he had just behaved himself for 24 hours, he was going to have like a couple of $100,000.
Yeah, now he's in jail.
Yeah, now he's in jail. And the case was dropped.
That sucks.
I'm sorry. You made a bad choice.
Yeah,
what do you want me to say there?
I know.
How do you want me to call that one?
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Caser box.